Good evening everyone. I want to begin tonight with a simple but uncomfortable truth: your excuses are stealing your dreams. And before you say, well, that's not me, let me tell you a story that might just make you see yourself in it. The Hook, a story of a young man and a bus stop. Years ago, there was a young man who used to wait at the same bus stop every morning. He had big dreams. He wanted to start a business, travel the world, and take care of his mother who worked 2 jobs just to keep food on the table. Every morning, as he waited for the bus, he would say to himself, one day, I'll do it. But then the excuses would come. I don't have the money right now. I'm not smart enough yet. What if I fail? What will people say? So he'd get on the bus, go to the same job he hated, come home exhausted, and repeat the same cycle again and again. Years passed. The bus stop didn't change. His dreams didn't change. But do you know what did change? Time. And one morning, as he looked at his reflection in the bus window, he realized he had become older, tired, and bitter. His excuses had stolen the very dreams that once kept him alive. That young man could be anyone. It could be your neighbor, your friend, or maybe even you. Audience connection. Now, let me ask you something: how many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? How many times have you looked at a goal, a project, or even a calling deep inside your heart, and then let an excuse convince you to wait? If you're honest, every single person in this room has done it. I've done it. You've done it. We all have. Because excuses are comfortable. Excuses are warm. Excuses let us off the hook. But excuses are also thieves. Silent thieves. And if you're not careful, they will steal your time, your potential, and your future. The universal truth. Think about it: the person you want to be in 10 years is out there, waiting for you. That version of you is stronger, wiser, healthier, and fulfilled. But between you and that person stands a wall. And that wall is not made of lack of money, or lack of education, or lack of opportunities. That wall is built brick by brick out of excuses. Every, I can't. Every, I'm too tired. Every, it's too late for me. Every, I'll start next Monday. Those bricks stack up until you can no longer even see your dream on the other side. But here's the good news: you built that wall, and you can also tear it down. A moment of realization. Let me share a story about a woman named Karen. She was a single mother of 2, working long hours as a waitress in a small diner. Life had beaten her down. She had every excuse in the world not to chase her dreams: I don't have time, I don't have help, I'm too tired. But one day, her little daughter came to her with a drawing from school. It was a picture of a superhero. When Karen asked who it was, the little girl said, "That's you, Mommy. You're my hero." Karen broke down crying that night. She realized something profound: her excuses weren't just stealing her dreams, they were also stealing her children's future. So she started small. One online class at night. Then another. She sacrificed sleep. She sacrificed comfort. She stopped listening to the voice of excuses and started listening to the voice of purpose. And today, Karen owns her own catering business, employs other single mothers, and is able to provide her children with the life she once only dreamed of. What changed? Not her circumstances, those were still hard. What changed was her decision. She stopped feeding her excuses and started feeding her dreams. Audience engagement. Now, let me ask you, what excuses are you feeding right now? Is it the excuse that you don't have enough time? Because I promise you, the same 24 hours that built companies, cured diseases, and wrote books is the same 24 hours you have. Is it the excuse that you're not good enough? Because no one ever feels ready. Every hero you've ever admired, every success story you've ever celebrated, began with someone who felt scared, unqualified, and uncertain. Or is it the excuse that it's too late for you? That you're too old? Too far gone. Let me tell you something, Colonel Sanders started KFC at 65 years old. Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years before becoming president of South Africa. Vera Wang didn't design her first dress until she was 40. It is never too late. But it is always too easy to make an excuse. The unexpected turn. Let me share a personal moment with you. Years ago, I was at a hospital visiting a friend who had been in a terrible accident. As I walked past the rehabilitation wing, I saw a young man, maybe 19 or 20 years old, learning how to walk again after losing one leg. His face was drenched in sweat, his hands gripping the bars so tightly his knuckles turned white. And I'll never forget what he said to the therapist. Through the pain, he whispered, "I don't care how long it takes, I'm going to run again." That moment hit me like a thunderbolt. This young man had every excuse in the world to give up. He had every reason to feel sorry for himself. But instead, he made a choice. He chose his dream over his excuses. And that day, I promised myself, if someone with less than what I have can fight for their dream, then I have no right to sit back and let mine slip away. The emotional climax. Friends, listen closely, your excuses are not harmless. They are not small. They are robbers. They sneak in day by day, and before you know it, they've taken years from you. How many dreams have died because of excuses? How many businesses never started? How many songs never written? How many books never published? How many cures never discovered? Not because people weren't smart enough. Not because they weren't capable. But because they told themselves an excuse, and they believed it. But imagine what would happen if today, tonight, you drew a line in the sand and said, "No more." Imagine if you refused to let excuses have the final word. Imagine if you woke up tomorrow and instead of saying, "I can't," you said, "I will try." Instead of saying, "I don't have time," you said, "I will make time." Instead of saying, "I'll start next year," you said, "I start now." Can you feel it? That's not just motivation, that's possibility. That's power. That's your future begging you to fight for it. A call to action. So here is my challenge to you, think of one dream, just one, that you've been putting off because of an excuse. Maybe it's starting that business. Maybe it's going back to school. Maybe it's repairing a broken relationship. Maybe it's getting healthy. Maybe it's finally writing that book. Whatever it is, I want you to decide tonight, right here, that you will no longer let excuses steal it from you. And don't start next year. Don't start next week. Start now. Because excuses live in tomorrow, but dreams live in today. The heartwarming closing. Let me leave you with this thought. At the end of your life, when you look back, you won't regret the things you failed at. You won't regret the risks you took that didn't work out. But you will regret the dreams you never chased because you let excuses hold you hostage. The young man at the bus stop, waiting year after year, became a prisoner of his own excuses. Don't let that be your story. Be like Karen, who chose to fight for her children's future. Be like that young man in the rehab center, who chose to walk again despite the pain. Be like the countless people throughout history who stopped listening to excuses and started listening to the voice of their destiny. Because when you stop giving your excuses power, you start giving your dreams a chance. So tonight, I ask you, what will it be? Excuses or dreams? Comfort or courage? Regret or legacy? The choice is yours. And I hope you choose to stop letting your excuses steal your dreams, because the world is waiting for the version of you that finally decides to show up. Thank you.